the replica of the stadium. What do you kind of think of this whole thing inside here?
Well, I think it's an exciting space, and it's a great opportunity for our fans, for our sponsors, for families to come and visit, and and to see what the A's are all about. I mean, for many people in Vegas, there's a love for baseball, but they're just learning about the 125-year-old athletics franchise and understanding, wow, this is going to be our franchise. And so this is a great place that celebrates the A's amazing history, that shows everything from Denzel Clark's catch this past year, Nick Kurtz's 4 home run game, but then goes all the way back to the 72, 73, 74 World Series wins. So it has just tidbits of what makes baseball such a fun and exciting game, but also a celebration of what the A's, represented over our 125 years.
What's it like for you to walk into this building? Like coming from Oakland, the Coliseum, like I was born in Oakland, went to Coliseum games as a kid, right? To come in here, everything is so innovative, it's so up to date, and this is what it's going to become. You're going to have the stadium here in a few years.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we had 56 amazing years in Oakland, and now we're here. We're going to be on this incredible location on the Strip. You've seen the design done by Danish architect Bjarke Ingels, who's here. I mean, he's one of the most creative architects I've ever seen, ever met, and to design something that I think is going to have our fans feel like they're outside and right on the Strip, like they're looking out the window at Bally's and New York, and MGM, but at the same time be in a fully enclosed, air-conditioned space. With this is what we have here at the Sales Center is just a small little tidbit of the kind of experiences people are going to have when they're in the stadium itself.
Wow, to say that is really, really saying something. Say this is like a small tidbit of what you have at the stadium. Because I mean, this place is amazing, especially going from the area where you're talking about. You can see like the different moments from A's past with Dave Stewart and Ricky Henderson and whatnot. Like when you saw that and the cube in here, I guess what were your initial thoughts on what you've actually created here?
Yeah, sports are meant to be fun. And people think of professional sports as, big business. And of course, it is big business. But, I go to these games and I'll watch an A's player or opposing team's player, and there'll be a pop-up and it'll get caught in the sun and they won't make the catch. And you're like, wow, like the difference is people play this game because they love the game. Whether you're a professional baseball player, you're a minor league professional baseball player, you're a little league player. And what we've tried to achieve here with our Experience Center, but also in our stadium, is a celebration of the fun of the game itself. And our goal, when people say, what are your goals? Our goal is to make sure that every kid, in Las Vegas is an A's fan. And because if every kid is an A's fan, their parents are going to become A's fans pretty quickly. I mean, you saw that happen with the Golden Knights. You've seen it happen, obviously, with the Aces. You've seen it happen with the Aviators. You've seen it happen with the Raiders. And so if we can do that same thing, and baseball is just this great game that can be played by, young and old alike. And that's something that we're trying to, really build upon here.
John, the stadium design and so forth is so iconic, so like visually eye-popping. Was it important for you as a owner to kind of have that Vegas-sized kind of feel to what you got going here?
Yeah, if you build on a site like where the Tropicana Hotel was on Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, you better do something pretty great. And so the level was very high for what we needed to achieve to make sure that locals and visitors alike would find this place impressive and exciting. And I think that we've achieved that.
Let me ask you a financial question, if you don't mind. To succeed in Vegas, obviously you know this more than anybody with Vegas, you got to win, you got to be successful, you got to spend money. Are you committed to that?
Oh, look, absolutely. But, it starts with the fact that we think that we have some incredible young talent on our team today, right? It's not always about going out and signing the most expensive free agent. A lot of it is making sure that you draft well and that you hold on to your best players. That's been an important part of kind of this new opportunity for us as we're moving into Las Vegas, the ability to sign our players to longer-term contracts. We signed Brent Rooker last season to a longer-term contract. We signed Lawrence Butler. We have some great talent that, we will be working to sign going forward. And if you look at the great success stories in baseball over the last kind of 25 years, whether it be Atlanta or Houston or Cleveland, which built their ballpark in 1994, I think, they all did it by the talent that they had drafted and by keeping that talent. That is a really important part of what we want to achieve. And you can see throughout this experience center, Brent Rooker hitting home runs and Lawrence Butler, hitting home runs and Nick Kurtz hitting 4 home runs and Denzel Clark, making this incredible catch. And you look at all of that, and we think that we have the nucleus of a group of players and those that are currently in the minor leagues for us to be able to, make our players as popular and as exciting as any of the stars throughout baseball today.
John, with the steps that the team has made towards opening up this ballpark this year with the LVCVA partnership and then the groundbreaking and now opening up this ballpark center, what have you learned more about this city and the Valley?
I've been saying this all along, which is, Vegas is a community that most people don't understand. Most people come into Vegas and they think of Vegas as the Strip. And the Strip is an incredible asset of this community. But there are 2.5 million people who live here and who are, dedicated to improving and love their community. And I just moved here a couple of months ago with my wife, and we have sort of felt that, that hospitality from people who are, reaching out. The sense of neighborhoods here and being, wanting to take care of each other and to make Vegas, more and more of a wonderful place to live is something that I've really noticed. And the love of sports, even with no baseball in Las Vegas, when you go and you meet with people, you hear about how much they love the Dodgers, how much they love the A's, how much they love the Mets, the Red Sox. It goes on and on and on. And when we were meeting with a lot of the politicians, for example, in Carson City, I noticed they all had strong professional baseball affiliations. One of the politicians showed me a picture when she and her husband got married. He's a fan of one team, she's a fan of another. Their wedding cake had the emblem of one team on it, the emblem of another on the other side of the cake. And I thought, this is home. This is a great place to be.
My last one would be this. Do you have a favorite little nook and cranny that's in here in the sales center that, because I'm sure we all have seen something and be like, man, that's the best thing up here.
Yeah. I would say it kind of changes based on, when I'm here. I will say I love the elephant because it's been a part of the A's and everything that we stand for and the fun. And the elephant came about because somebody made a joke of our team and called the A's, a bunch of white elephants. And the owners of the team, and Connie Mack said, hey, we like that. You call us a white elephant? You are. That's great. And they celebrated what was a mockery by making it the team's mascot. And so we have Stomper today, 123 years later. The mascot of the team started out as a joke. And what we have, in the front of the Experience Center here is this incredible sculpture. It looks so real. And you realize it was made by these, artisans in India. and that it's all going to support something called the Elephant Migration, which is a nonprofit group that is, taking care of elephant habitat around the world, but especially in Asia and Africa. So like I see the elephant, I'm like, oh, that's my favorite part. Then I see the model, and I'm like, we're building that? Like, that's my favorite part. Then I go into the bat room, and I see Denzel Clark's catch, and I'm like, no, I like that. And then I see the bobblehead, and then I go over to the queue. There are so many parts of this experience center that I think fans of the team and families will enjoy and really get a kick out of, and that's what makes this all worthwhile.
Final question
what
for
can-
me.
Wait, let me. Yeah.
What can fans look forward to as far as the game day experience, as far as nightclubs or tourists, anything along those lines at the stadium?
Well, as I said before, one thing we really want fans to look forward to is having a good time. And, we're going to be playing 81 games of baseball a year. See you later. And it is a great game. And so many of our players will have come from the Aviators. So one of our ideas and to look forward to is that families will be able to go to Las Vegas Ballpark. The Aviators have been an incredible partner of our team throughout this whole process, and they'll be able to watch, all these younger players, and then those players will get called up, and instead of flying to wherever the major league team is based, they're going to get in a car and drive 20 minutes away to the ballpark. And the idea that you can have a family that, in theory, could be watching a player play in Summerlin for the Aviators, one day, and then the next day watch them, playing against the Yankees, representing the Athletics at our new ballpark on the Strip. That's kind of a dream.
Final question for me, John. Let me ask you: the construction, the timelines, everything kind of as anticipated or expected? Are you ahead of anything or behind? Or
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd like to say that we're ahead of schedule because I think we actually are a little bit. But I'd like to be conservative about where we are. But we are on time. We're on budget. And I was just out at the site itself. And normally projects like this, you don't see a lot of change from day to day, but you do now. For us, I go out and it seems like we're pouring, one section of floor every day, and we're building these buttresses, and we have 300 people out on the site, mostly locals who are building all this for us. It's going to grow to close to 1,800 people. I mean, what the unions have done to support our efforts here has been extraordinary. And I think we're hopefully delivering back on that promise by being able to show, what all of these 1,800 people can create. It's an exciting